Hello, Mermaid. So, I want to review a movie. This movie I got as a gift from my hubby, and it is Everyone. It is a Norwegian movie, but it is filmed with the actors speaking English badly. So let's get back to the English because I have some things to say about that. But yeah, I'm gonna do this review basically a first section that basically I talk about various things of the movie that is not a spoiler if you would like to see it, and then I'm gonna talk a bit about what the movie is about in the second part. Well, not a part as in two different videos, but later in the video. So before I say this is a spoiler warning, you don't have to worry about being spoiled. So yeah, this movie is basically about it's a mystery involving basically a world that is I don't remember if it's 10 or 30 years into the future, a decade of you, yeah, a little bit into the future, where teleportation technology has been developed, and suddenly a lot of people using it has started disappearing, and that's where we jump into the action. So yeah, all the people, as far as I know, working on this is Norwegian. It's a Norwegian production, and it's filmed for the most part in Oslo. However, yeah, they decided for some insane reason to film this with the actors speaking English. And I mean that if they could find good English actors, I have no problem with it. A lot of people are in Norway are very much against the Englishification of our language, but I'm not one of them. I speak English all the time. But yeah, if you're going to have English people speaking English, please have somebody who can actually do it. I mean, okay, I have a pretty strong Norwegian accent. You can hear that when I'm speaking to you. It's very clear that I am not a native English speaker. But still, I do believe I can carry on a conversation in English pretty naturally sounding. Yeah. And I don't get why they would choose so bad actors because Norway has the reputation of being the one nation in Scandinavia that has the best English because we don't dub uh, movies and TV series and such for anyone basic for anything intended for people over 7. So we get to hear the language naturally spoken all the time. But yeah, the actors here, they speak like this. Oh no, people have disappeared. I wonder what we will do about that. And I mean, not only do they speak English terribly, they act terribly. And I have a feeling that the reason they act terribly is that they are horrible English speakers and have to focus so much on actually managing to get English words coming out of their mouth that they can't act. It's painful to watch. And it's such a shame because really this movie has so much potential. There's the concept of it is very good. It's very different. I mean, how often do you see a different science fiction movie? Now, I know they probably wanted to reach a greater audience, but here it would have been better to just film it in Norwegian and have whatever other nation sub it or dub it. Because this is terrible. Not, I mean, I wouldn't have minded so much that the English itself is terrible because, I mean, elephant, glass house, yeah. I don't speak perfect English myself, but the acting. I mean, at several points while watching this movie with my hubby, I just had to shout out, I am acting! Because it's so terrible. This is the kind of acting I would have expected in homemade video, basically some kids just making a movie with their video camera and posting it on YouTube. It is not something I would have expected of professional actors. It is horrible. Other than that, I mean, uh, it's well shot, it's atmospheric, and I think I'll say a few words about that as well, because um, that's one of the very good things about this movie. It has a great atmosphere. It has that mysterious, um, unsettling atmosphere that I really, really like. In many ways, it is very similar in atmosphere to another Norwegian movie called The Troublesome Man. And I do think a lot of the same people that worked on that has worked on this, because a lot of it is very similar, and that is very good. I just wish they would have gotten better actors, because really, if they had decent actors, I would have said was a pretty good movie. As it is, I can't recommend you watching it because of the terrible acting and the English. Oh my sweet heaven, the English. Back to school, people. But yeah, um, other than that, cinematography is fine. The setting and storyline is pretty good. The characters, well, it's a pretty short movie. I think it's 1 hour and 17 minutes or so. You don't see a lot of character development and really a lot of character in it, but it works for the story itself. So, other than that, the movie is pretty fine. And if you're interested in a movie about basically teleportation going wonky, then shot in Oslo, then it's pretty good. The only other complaint I would have about the quality of the movie is that they have obviously saved money just by filming around Oslo. And yeah, you see a lot of things that doesn't fit with the time period and the setting and so on, because they haven't had the chance to set things up. They've just chosen a street and filmed there. So that sort of is a bit jarring, but unless you're very nitpicky, you probably should be able to ignore that. So yeah, that's my non-spoilery part of the movie. If you want to stop there, I would give this movie 3 out of 10 because of the horrible acting. There's better Norwegian movies for you to see out there. And that's my review of Everyone. Now for you that's more interested in the story, the spoiler part start here. I'll give you a couple of seconds just to be able to turn the movie off if you don't want to see that. Turned off? Excellent. So everybody's still here, actually want to hear about what this movie is about. Well, you have that a world that a few years ago somebody discovered teleportation. Right? I mean, it would be like I got a call from a friend of mine in the United States who asked me for lunch in New York, and I could just take the bus into the nearest teleportation point and off you go. And of course, people use this a lot. It's quickly become a part of everyday life. Now, every so often, people disappear when they teleport, but it's only like 1 or 2 people a year, and that still makes it a lot safer than any other way of transportation. When I think about it, think about many people die in car accidents and plane crashes and all of that, against perhaps 2 people a year that goes missing when teleporting, so it's considered pretty safe. However, at the start of the movie, lots of people, thousands and thousands of people, have disappeared. And eventually, as the movie go along, half the world's population also has disappeared as they're using the teleporters. And nobody understands why. You sort of have two storylines. One following a police unit trying to figuring out what the fuck is going on, and the other following a young man, teenager really, who is trying to stop his brother from committing suicide and the things he gets into. Now, another strange phenomenon people have noticed is that every so often people seem to commit suicide for no reason, and yeah, and what's going on is that, of course, when people disappear in teleportation accidents, what they do is they end up in another dimension, a dimension very similar to ours, where you have all the same people and so on and so forth. However, when you end up in a dimension you're not supposed to be in, you get depressed. You feel that there's no point in anything. Food doesn't taste anything and nothing feels real. And most people who end up in a wrong universe either A, go insane and just go on a rampage, or commit suicide. Now, this is very similar to what you'll find in The Troublesome Man, because there too you have somebody who has this very strange, unreal place he ends up in that on the surface looks very normal, but where nothing seems right, where nothing tastes right, and so on and so forth. And I'm not going to go into all of the story because, I mean, there's going to be some point to you watching the movie. But, I mean, it has some interesting twists, and it do manage to nail that feeling of it's just being weird. And it does that very well. So in the sections where I manage to basically ignore the horrible acting and just focus on the storyline, I actually liked it a lot. So yeah, I mean, the way I don't explain it right, because it do sound like every other alternate dimension teleportation movie you ever seen, but it really isn't. It has a completely unique feeling to it. So I can recommend this movie if what you're looking for is something that's science fiction that's just different. And I can definitely recommend it. But yeah, the main characters are two young men. It's one guy who's trying to save his brother who ends up in a teleportation accident into another universe, and another guy who claimed that his brother is also his brother. And they try to unravel this mystery. And I mean, it works. It works pretty well. It just, yeah, I just get back to the acting. So yeah, plus on the atmosphere, that's great. Plus on the story, it's pretty good. So yeah, I still would say 3 out of 10. It's not a movie I would hunt down and pay full price for, but if you can find it in a bargain, then just because of its uniqueness, it might be worth a watch. And that's my review of Everywhen. Hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day. Blessed be.